Hi, everybody. This might be a little longer today. In my inbox over the weekend, I had Maria Shriver's Sunday morning paper, the essay that she sends out. And Kitty just came up. You may see her running around here. And I wanted to share this one with you. It just really spoke to me for some reason. It's called Maria Shriver's Sunday paper, and you can get it. It's free. You can get it sent to your inbox. It's once a week. And she always begins her kind of editorial or post by saying, I've been thinking, ... And she says, I'm a journalist and my beat is life. Oh, so this might be a little longer because I want to read it. My beat is life. I've always been a curious person because I want to discover how one can build a life of meaning, joy, purpose, and love. I'm curious about how we are meant to survive all that life throws our way without losing hope, joy, and ourselves along the way. I'm curious how we can build lives that stand on solid ground and that are capable of responding to the moment, whatever that might be. I want to pause there because I think about that a lot too, obviously, and perhaps many of you do. She wants to find a life, she says, that makes her feel full and happy and hopeful about herself and her loved ones and her country. And she applies those same values to this publication. And she says, every week I sit down to write, I think about that. I think about what's going on in our world and how to make sense out of it in a way that makes sense. I think about you reading what I write and how I want to bring value to you. I want it to make a difference. It's how I feel about Prayerful Pause. Sometimes I don't know what to write. I sit and nothing comes up for me, or too much comes up at once. So true for me. She says, this week's theme comes from a conversation with my friend David. One early morning this week, she said, I was speaking to David, who owns his own interior design business, about product shortages, clogged supply chains, and the news that many of our country's shelves are going to be bare at Christmas. Have you heard that? It's really true. My sister-in-law's church in central New Hampshire purchased a new, very expensive pipe organ being delivered from Europe, and it sat on a ship outside New York Harbor for 3 months. It finally now is on land and making its way there. But just think about that, especially with all of the foreign the products the things that we buy here that are manufactured in foreign countries. So that's what they're talking about. And David said to me, I think this is a big reset. I think we are collectively being taught one big lesson that we all need to be taught, a lesson in patience. We've all become so impatient, he continued. We buy things and expect them to arrive in 24 hours. We call ahead and expect our food and drink to be ready when we pull up. We expect to find love with a swipe on our phones. We FaceTime someone halfway around the world to see their face in seconds. Within moments, everything is at our fingertips. We consume what we want, when we want, and we just keep moving on to the next thing without a thought about what it does to our environment, our relationships, or our lives. COVID came with all kinds of lessons, but now we have the great supply chain mess and people are clamoring for whatever it is they can't have or feel they need to have immediately. What's worse, she says, people who need essential items are finding their store shelves are bare, and many families are faced with the unthinkable reality of having to go without the basics. I also understand that companies need their goods to do business. The ports are clogged. The cost of doing business has skyrocketed. But what if all this is about something bigger than the supply chain? What if this is a moment when we learn a lesson even bigger than the one about being patient? Although God knows we could all use a ton more of that, she says. Maybe it's a moment for us to stop and think about what we actually need in our lives right now. Do we need to panic buy right now out of fear that we won't be able to buy Christmas gifts next month? Her daughter, Christina, said she's going to just make everything this Christmas. Do we need more than what we have? What is enough? She has a friend, Simon, who recently shared with her this quote that's attributed to businessman Rick Elias. Never replace happy with happier. I love that. Isn't that great? Never replace happy with happier. Don't go out and get busy trying to be happier when you're already happy. I would also add to that, she says, don't do that when you already have what you need. This is one moment, she says, and this is where we'll end it. To check in with yourself. Are you happy? Are you okay? Do you have enough? Do you have what you need? What do you need to make yourself happier? Do you need it or want it? Happier isn't better than happy. Patience. Patience would be nice to increase, but I think this look into who we are, what we need, what we want, I think that's even a better gift to come out of us from this COVID time, don't you? Thanks for sharing these few moments with me. It's always good to have you here. It's good for me to get up and start thinking about these things early in the morning. I hope you are enjoying and challenged by these prayerful pauses with the pastor. Time to think of something greater than ourselves. I'm Pastor Deb Swift of South Presbyterian Church in Rochester, New York. We'll see you next time, okay? Until then, take care. God bless. Bye for now.